Hey everyone, Microwave here. I've been thinking about how we can make some of our less played operators a little bit better, so I decided to make a video for you guys to get your opinions. I think you will like some of the ideas I have. I try to break down what the operator's intended uses are and stick with that. To start the show, let's talk about Montagne. Currently, all shield operators were given a slight nerf to their aiming down the sights. Now I'm sure some of you say it was a balance fix, but I'm not going to get into that right now. However, I think that we all can agree that shield users have taken a turn for the worse. Montagne has a low played percentage and can use a little love. Now personally, I think Montagne should get a slight buff. Now he carries this big bulletproof shield thing that kind of resembles a coffin lid when it's fully deployed. I mean, just look at it. Now in the real world, cops use their shield to quell the violence or protect themselves. They don't just stand there and stare at you. Also, does anyone else kind of get creeped out when you run into Montagne and his shield's fully deployed? He just sits there staring at you like some creeper through a hole in the wall.
Come here. Come to Montagne.
Now what if Montagne could push people into the down but not out stance when the shield is fully deployed?
Oh, but Microwave, that is OP.
No, not really, because melee hits are generally one-hit killers unless you're playing from Pakistan and your lag doesn't register the hit. I mean, this is what really happens. Riot police utilize their shields as battering rams when the riders get too close or too volatile. And we're talking about the Mountain, guys, a big old friggin' dude with a big old friggin' shield. This would make him way more viable and I would actually play him. I'm currently level 116 and I've never played him in a casual ranked game. Alright, let's talk about Tachanka. Tachanka isn't one of the best heroes because his gadget makes him become a stationary target, rather than some badass pillar destroyer like in his opening videos. By the way, good job Widow Tachanka, you got them concrete walls good. Rainbow Six is all about location information. Now let's break down what I assume is the creator's intention for Tachanka. He has a mounted LMG of sweetness that locks down a whole area. However, he is surrounded by breakable walls and you can just utilize the peeker's advantage to get an easy kill. So he ends up being this suppression machine, but he ends up being this wet noodle with a sweet Magneto helmet. Now I've heard a lot of ideas like, Tachanka needs bulletproof helm, and that's not such a good idea. Could you imagine how that would affect the game? You'd be like, screw the turret, Tachanka equal new Jaeger. Another idea I read said that Tachanka should be able to mount his LMG on desks and stuff. Now that's a better idea than a lead helmet. However, I think it interferes with what the creators wanted him to be, because he would roam a little more like Kapkan. He wouldn't be a stationary beast of annihilation. So my idea was to put a small bulletproof window in front of his face, mounted on the LMG itself, sort of like having a giant holograph sight. It wouldn't surround his head like a retarded visor, but it would allow him to lock down a hallway without getting picked off by peekers. And we go to another Russian. Kapkan time, boys. Okay, so most of us were there during the glory days when Kapkan saw a huge spike in playability. Of course I'm talking about the glitches that everyone used, and boy did it catch you off guard. Gone were the days of winning in under a minute. You had to methodically move from room to room, making sure that you didn't get killed because of some invisible trap. But that taught us all something. Kapkan was actually fun.
No, but Microwave, you think it should go back to the non-laser idea? How original.
No. If it's one thing the Russians are good at, it's obviously drinking. But other than that, it's utilizing old equipment and keeping in the 21st century fight. I mean, Tachanka's weapon is from the 1950s, and yet we have Thatcher and his sweet EMP grenades? Yeah, okay. Even their weapons are old school. Fuse's best weapon is an AK-12. It's just an upgraded version of the Kalashnikov 47. Okay, so back on track. I think Kapkan's trap should keep all of its properties except for the glaring red laser beam. I think Ubi should just take a paint bucket and select gray in the paint and boop, done. They can say it's a chain or a wire or silly string, whatever fits their fancy.
Oh, but the Microwave, you're supposed to be innovative.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I want small tweaks that increase the use of these low rating operators. I don't want some giant revamp. And as I mentioned before, the Russians are good at keeping old technology useful. I mean, let's face it here guys, Kapkan's trap is a mountable claymore with a crazy red laser beam. That's some advanced stuff for those guys. And you think President Vladimir Putin would waste his money on lasers when you could just use a wire? I don't think so. Alright ladies and gentlemen, we hit the last stop on our venture. IQ. IQ has a gadget that allows her to see text stuff through walls. And pulse. Sucks for you. I haven't really seen any ideas that could help her. I mean, the only reason we really play her is those sweet ass purple shoes and that sweet booty. So my suggestion would be to toss her Nintendo DS wrist strap or Magic the Gathering card holder, or whatever you want to call it, and upgrade to the Google Eyeglass. I'm not getting paid to say that, by the way. She can see electronics passively while using her primary. You would also have to decrease the giant bullseye that marks electronics so that way it doesn't flutter sensors.
Oh, but Microwave, you suggested this early on Reddit.
Please, microwave, please. Okay. Now how about this? What if her Google Eyeglass acts as a camera and her team can access it? You just switch on over to IQ TV. That's copy and trademark by me, by the way. And then you can see all the electronics that she sees. You never ever had to be like, there's something behind the door, there's something behind the door. And then all of a sudden they get killed and they were like, why didn't you tell me? Now you're probably gonna be like, that's completely overpowered. Well, in a way. I mean, she can only see electronic devices, which isn't such a big deal. How many people honestly use her for a gadget? Yeah, probably no one. She's also very quick and has a nice 5.52 commando. So there's a huge potential for her to be used as a staple. I mean, we can already see what other people are doing when we die, so what's the big difference? And so yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I've been working really hard on different styles of video to see what you guys like. I'm pretty new to making videos and try to get better with each one. So as always, if you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, troll the comments. If for some reason you really loved it, tap the subscribe button to stay current on everything microwave gaming related.